So now I'm going to make what I call barbecue chicken. And so we need 1 tub of chicken thighs with no bones or skin in it. And put them into a large container because we're going to marinate these. So just pull off any bits that are hanging around, which you don't want. Make sure your hands are clean when you do this as well. Right, then wash your hands in hot water, and we're going to add to this, let's have a look, you know, tablespoons after this. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of tomato ketchup. You can get into it. So that's 1, 2. A tablespoon of dark soy sauce. There we go, all of it. So 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, which I always have trouble with mine, so if, like me, you can't get it out, you can use regular garlic, which I'm just going to get. So you need about a teaspoon of regular garlic. There you go. And a little bit of Worcester sauce. So about a tablespoon of Worcester sauce. That should do it. Now then, if you've got such a thing as liquid smoke, now is the time to pop that in, and I've got some, so I'm going to pop it in. So we're going to put 2 tablespoons of liquid smoke in. That's 1, 2. Then we're going to mix these around and leave them to marinate for a while. So I'll just use my spoon that's covered. It's easier. Nozzle through that. And we're going to leave it to marinate in the fridge with some cling film on until we're ready for it. So I've put a frying pan on to heat, and I've taken my chicken out of the fridge. What I'm going to do now is put the chicken in the frying pan. I'm going to dry fry it until it's cooked. So this is my chicken. To do everything one-handed here in a moment. And we're going to take out, these have been marinating now for about 2 hours. So I'm going to take one out and pop it in the frying pan. And again. And just pop them in to the frying pan. There you go. And this is what we have. So I'm going to cook these now until they're thoroughly cooked through. And we're having, this is not ready yet, this is just about to get strained. We're going to have loaded mashed potatoes with it, so stick around and see what happens. And this is what it looks like when it's done. How lovely is that? This has got to be one of the simplest, most tasty recipes that I made. Really, you should give it a try. So here is the finished product. I've done cheese and chive mash with a bit of sour cream in it, and that's my barbecue flavoured chicken. Enjoy. So I'm going to start my stuffed mushrooms by dry frying some pork and chorizo sausage. There's 6 links here, which I've just broken up into pieces. They already have a bit of garlic and what have you in it. We're just looking here to put some crispiness on our sausage. We're going to break them down as they cook, and it will be easier once they start cooking. We'll just wait for this pan to heat up, and what I'm going to put in with it is some onions. As soon as this starts to create a bit of oil, we'll put some onions in. So it's started to crackle a bit now. Just want to leave it a minute or two. Try not to move it around too much just yet, because we want it to start to cook. Once it starts to cook, we can start breaking it up a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff these mushrooms. These are portobello mushrooms, the largest ones you can get. I've got 4 of those that I'm going to be doing. So we're using the sausage instead of the mince, so we need this to be quite fine. To you, how fine, of course. While it's cooking, I just want to put a few little herbs and spices in. I'm going to put some smoked paprika in. There's already smoked paprika in the chorizo, but we just want to amp that flavour a little bit more. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon in. You can put more if you wish. And some oregano, or oregano, however you say it. So we'll pop that on as well. About a teaspoon. If you want to add more, you do that. These are just base recipes. The recipes are how I do them. If you want them to be done any differently, then, you change it. The whole thing about cooking is that it moves, it improves, it gives you ideas. Keep on with this, and I'll be back when it's ready for the next ingredient. As you can see now, it's starting to take some colour, and it's broken up quite well. So now is the time to add our onions and our garlic. So I've got 1 onion here, finely chopped, which I'm going to pop in. Good. Along with a teaspoon of garlic. Now I don't need a lot of garlic because this sausage actually does have garlic in it, so just a teaspoon. And we'll keep going until these have softened. Once your onion has started to soften, it's time to add your other ingredients, which are, in my case, 3 sun-dried tomatoes and 1 roasted red pepper with the skin taken off, the jarred variety. So I'm going to put those in there just to give it a little bit of sweetness. Mix that around for a little bit, let the heat get into it. Okay, and then it's time to add some tomatoes. So I've got some finely chopped tomatoes, or you can use passata here. And I'm going to add roughly half the tin. Yeah, should be enough. And then mix that in. Make sure you get it all distributed throughout the meat and the onions. Go. And then give that a few minutes to heat up. So What I'm going to do now is add my rice. That's heated through. I'm going to add a packet of the microwavable rice, which is this one here. We're going to be adding a packet of rice, and we're just waiting for this to heat through before we finish, because remember, we're going to put our mushrooms in the oven for a while. So pop that in. Break it up if it's not got totally broken up in the packet. Just give it a little press. I find these don't break very well, to be honest. And this is the time when you may need a bit more water, so keep your eye open for it. So just go through and break up the rice. We're just waiting for that to heat up before we do what's next, which is salt and pepper, before we put it into our mushroom. Okay, so now it's time to put some salt and pepper in. And I find more is better. But of course, you do it how you want to. If you like less, then you put less in. But I do like a healthy dose of pepper. And some salt. We need a little bit of water, so we'll just keep an eye on it as we're doing it. Get a clean spoon. And take a bit out the middle. That's lovely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. No problem with that at all. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is knock this off and transfer it to some mushroom. Now, there will be a bit left over from this. Quite a bit actually, because I usually do peppers as well, but there's just the three of us tonight, so I'm just doing mushrooms. So pile it into your mushrooms. All I've done with the mushrooms is take the stalk out and taken the skin off, because on portobellos there's quite a bit of skin. And then just press it into place so it stays, basically. There we go. And we're going to cook these in the air fryer for 10 minutes. So I'm just now popping my mushrooms into my air fryer. Gently does it. And what we're going to do is cook them for 10 minutes. On 180. I'm going to bake them, and then we're going to take them out, sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on them, put them back in and air fry them on 200 for about 5 minutes.